So you want to know whether or not a woman is right for you or not? I'll give you the number one secret that I've discovered when it comes to women and relationships. Watch this. Hey fellas, what's going on? This is going to be a pretty short video, but it's going to be a really important video. I've had some people ask me. They've asked me in the past, like, how do I know whether, how do I know whether or not this woman is right for me, and so on and so forth. It took me a while to figure it out, because there are different ways that you can take this conversation. Whether or not she's overweight, whether or not she's fit, whether or not she's kind, whether or not she can cook, whether or not she can pop, whether or not she's a Christian, whether she's a Muslim, whatever it is. So I had to think back. I had to think back at all my relationships. I've been in a lot of. So I asked myself, what was the one thing that when a woman did, I mean, other than cheating and stuff, I'm not even talking about that. Those are obvious. But what's the one red flag that you could spot that will let you know that, yeah, she's not the one that you need to. So I actually had to think about it for a second. Like all my relationships, even both my marriages, what's the one thing that I can say that had I paid attention to this, that would have let me know that, yeah, she's not the one. And a lot of guys struggle with this, right? Because what happens is you have a lot of hyenas out there, a lot of chameleons out there that behave one way. They say one thing, but then they react and behave a different way. So, what is the one thing that if every man did this and paid attention to this or spotted this in a woman, what's the one thing that men should look for? And you know what it is? Anger. What I mean by that is, how does this woman react when you tell her no? On something that is important to you. Oh, sorry, important to her. That's the key. How does a woman react when things don't go her way in a relationship at a certain point? Does she take disappointment with stride, with grace, or does she turn on a dime on you when you see her black eyes and she becomes the destroyer? When you tell her no, does she become the destroyer? Does she lose her mind? Does she start to do this with her mouth? Does she literally contradict everything she says or had said maybe a day ago? Does she physically break things? Does she yell at you, curse at you? If I would have paid attention to just that one simple thing, I promise you, my life would have turned out so much differently. The mother of my children, serious anger issues. Just oh, like when you either told her no or when she did not agree with you, she literally became the destroyer. Literally became the destroyer. Breaking things, just walking all fast in the house, yelling, screaming. My ex-wife, yelling, screaming, losing her temper. Saying things like, maybe we're just not a good fit. That's a big one. When a woman gets angry, and she says that, she's a destroyer. That woman will turn on you in a dime. On a dime, she'll turn on you. Show me how a woman reacts to situations that bring out anger in her, and I'll show you what her true nature is. Even the Bible says it is better to live on the desert than to be in the same house with an angry woman. Very interesting that the Bible used the word angry. You'll never have peace. I believe that the baseline of every woman is their anger. You want to know who a woman is? You need to find out how she reacts in, when she's put in situations where it upsets her or she doesn't get her way. She doesn't get her way. How a woman reacts in such a situation will tell you everything you need to know about that woman. Because every woman can be happy and nice when everything is going fine. Every woman can do that. That's easy. But how does she act when she discovers something or you tell her no? How does she react? Does she still know her place in the relationship? By know her place, what I mean by that is, does she still know that, you know what, this is still my man, and there are certain lines I will not cross, even though I am angry. I will never disrespect my man. If you can find a woman that, even though you have hurt her, you said something, you did something, but the way she reacts to it is out of hurt and not anger, because you genuinely hurt her. She still doesn't react in an angry fashion. She still knows her place. She doesn't curse you out or anything like that. She may yell, that's fine. She may yell a little bit, but she knows where to draw the line. If you can find a woman like that, you found a good woman. But if you find a woman that once she gets angry or she gets cornered, she fights back with insults, jabs at your masculinity, jab at your leadership, and she hits you below the belt where it hurts. That's not the right woman for you. She becomes a destroyer. She ain't the one. You need to run. You need to run because it doesn't get better, fellas. It only gets worse. It only gets. Can you imagine if you now insert a baby into that mix? She's gonna be overly frustrated all the time because it's a new baby, new frustrations, new duties, new responsibilities, which means she's not gonna get her way. What you don't want is a woman that can turn on a dime. Her emotions are all over the place. One minute she tells you she loves you, the next minute she's saying, "Well, I don't know if we're the right for each other." Women like that, nah, they're not stable. Anger is the revealer. Anger is the revealer. Does she handle anger with grace, or does she become the destroyer? So, all you guys that are in a relationship right now, if you know that your woman has anger issues, you might want to take heed to this message and run. Anger. If she once you, I give you, let me guys give you an example, and I'll end on this. I was just dating a girl. We were actually in a relationship. When I tell you, when I tell you, I have never been more connected to a human being in my life, relationship wise. I've never been more connected. You ever have one of these kind of relationships where you and this girl can, you and him or you and her can talk for 20 hours straight, and it feels like just 30 minutes. It was, and you do this every single day, and you guys are never tired talking to each other ever. That's the kind of connection I have with this chick. That loves you, it's flowing, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It was easy loving each other. All right. But then I discovered that she does tarot cards. And you guys know a little bit about me. I'm a Christian. I don't play with that shit. I don't fuck with that shit. It is what it is. I told her you're gonna have to stop to doing this thing. But from her standpoint, she said that this thing gives her quote unquote power. And that quote unquote God talks to her through tarot cards. You gotta be shitting me. Anyway, cut the long story short, I basically gave her an ultimatum. I said, look, you can't be like, is this too much for me to ask my girl not to do tarot cards? Because that's basically witchcraft. Bottom line, it's all bullshit anyway. But it's basically witchcraft. So am I asking too much for my girl not to be into tarot cards as well? Like, is that too much to ask? Fellas, once I crossed that line with her, and I told her that, look, we can't, I can't deal. If you see how quickly this girl changed on me on a dime, the things that came out of her mouth, the things that she would say, I was like, wow. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. The shit that she was saying, I was just listening to this chick. I was just like, wow, you can change just like that. And what made it worse was I was supposed to go see her. I'm not going to say where, but I bought a plane ticket to go see her. Spent like damn near $600. She told me, well, you can't come anymore, even though I'd already spent the money. See, the cool thing about this thing was really fulfilling was I prayed the night before, 2 nights before, like God to show me her heart. God, reveal my heart. I said, simple, silly prayer. Show me your heart. And boy, did he show me. She would not give over that. She was in love with that thing. And of course, one thing I know about women, like women, another thing that you want to watch out for women are women that are very feelings based. They say, God told me. Bullshit. God told you what? He ain't tell you nothing. God told me. God showed me. all this feeling stuff. You got to watch out for that too. So in order to justify her reasoning that tarot was good for her, she went to some spiritual lady who also does tarot. And what did that dumb fuck tell her to? Well, I think you're a medium and you have a gift. That's all she needed to hear. And she ran with that shit. So now she's over there thinking she's special and unique. So me telling her that she can't do tarot would be like me infringing on her power. That's what she said. And she would not give it up for nothing. But you should have seen how quickly this girl changed. This is the same girl that a day before was telling me how much she wants to marry me. She's making plans with me. So we're gonna buy land somewhere, this and that, blah blah blah. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Same girl out of her own mouth started saying all kinds of obscenities at me, all kinds of accusing me of this, accusing me of that. So that was a really, really valuable lesson to me. When a woman is triggered, how does she handle her anger? A chick that's willing to just change on you like that, she will easily divorce you. No problem. No problem whatsoever. She'll divorce you without even thinking. The funny thing is, most women today are just like that. Trigger a modern woman today. See what happens. Look how out their mouth they just start yapping and yapping and yapping and just start the worst thing. Just trigger them. See what happens. So all you guys who think your woman loves you, I'm not saying that you need to trigger her on purpose, but let it happen. Let events happen and watch her reaction. For instance, you guys are supposed to show up at a certain spot. Get there a little bit late. See her move. See her reaction. She says she wants to buy something. Tell her no. See what happens. Tell her she wants to go on this vacation. No, tell her no. See what happens. She start with the yapping. You know how they do the yapping, talking underneath her breath. Start storming. Let's say you guys live together and the trash is full. Just leave the trash. See what happens. She take it upon herself to belittle you by taking the trash out herself. Women like to do that to make you feel less than. Does she do that? You must watch for these signs. These are very obvious signs. To me, that's one of my number one things because every woman's baseline is how she handles anger. Period. Period. You cannot live in the same house with an angry woman. And that anger comes out from time to time. Not all the time, no, but from time to time. So you got to watch that. Okay? Hope this was a, guys, let me know what you think. Hit the like, subscribe, and hit the share notification bell.